I'll remember April 24th. That's when we lost our good buddy and partner, Jeff Gastineau, after a brief illness. And it's just, it's weird not having Jeff around us. I mean, he's the cameraman, he's the driver, he's the stat man, he just did his hands on everything. And for him not to be here, that's quite a shock, and it's sad. But I wanted to say something. Jeff was a very good man, and he's going to be missed, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be really missed. I mean, I've learned a lot from him. Jeff learned a lot from me.
Right.
Two of us, we tried to figure things out together and everything like that. Was Jeff ornery? Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. I mean,
absolutely. In a good way, though.
Oh, yeah, in a good way. I mean, look at how many times we picked on you.
Absolutely. Every night we're on the air, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we wanted to take some time right off the bat here to remember Jeff. We're dedicating the season to Jeff's memory. And I don't know, it's just not the same without him being here. And we're going to miss him very much. But we did. Bill Kay, our other partner, we have three of us own 3KG. Bill Kay, Jeff Gastineau, and myself. And we lost Jeff, and we were debating for a long time, Bill and I, if we even want to continue.
Yeah.
But we talked it over ourselves, took some time, talked it over, and we talked with Tricia, Jeff's wife, and she gave us her blessing and said, you guys better carry on. And I know you know as well as I would, Jeff would say, enough about me and just carry on. So
oh, yeah, definitely.
That's what we're going to do. So, yeah, it's going to be different, but we're going to think of Jeff every day anyway, and carry on. And I know he'd want us to do that, so let's do that, okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's kick the season off right. Jeff would want it that way. He would want us to keep carrying on and interview all these coaches, not just the football coaches, but the basketball coaches too. So
any coaches that want to talk, they're more than welcome to come out and join us here.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling, baseball, softball, track.
We got to thank Beth Graff at Arnie's here. She opened up her doors, feeds the coaches and pizza and drinks. So we really appreciate her, as we do appreciate all the sponsors for making this possible. Without them, we couldn't do it. But really thank Beth and her gang here. They're wonderful people that work here, and very kind and generous. And let's get it rolling, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. I tell you what, we're going to take a break, our first break. And we got a couple new coaches this year that are going to be joining us. Jake West from Tri-County and Kirk Kennedy from Kankakee Valley, as well as the usuals, Mark Hall from West Central, Scott Rowell from North Newton, Brad Beavis from South Newton, Chris Meeks from Rensselaer Central. We'll be here every week, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock right here on 3KG. We'll come back and talk with new Tri-County coach Jake West right after this timeout.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com. PetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPetersonPeters
Back at Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer, right across from St. Joseph's College. Bob Kurtz with you. Flying solo tonight. Scotty and myself are here by ourselves. Our other partner, Bill Kay, is under the weather right now, so he'll be joining us next week eventually. And we added another member, and it's Greg Willis. Greg Willis is going to join us. He's retiring from the military this week, so he's not going to be around this week, but we've worked with Jeff before, and he'll be a good addition. He used to be the North Newton football coach for years and years and years, so we're looking forward to when Greg jump on board in a couple of weeks here. Speaking of jumping on board, another new face here to the program, and it's Jake West, the new Tri-County football coach, but a familiar face to the area. Jake, welcome back to the community. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
I'm from the area. I graduated from South Newton High School. From there, I went on and played football at St. Joseph's College under Corey Sanders and Dan Day. From there, I actually got my first coaching job. I left the state, went back out to Missouri at a small college, Culver Stockton. Actually, one of their players didn't get drafted. We signed as an undrafted free agent. He's actually with the Titans right now, so I got to coach him for a year. That was awesome. Really happy for him, hoping he makes it through the preseason.
Sure.
I came back, coached at Tri-County for 2 years, went down to Madison with consolidated on the state line with Kentucky. We were down there for 2 years, and now I'm back up here and ready to get to work.
How was the path to here? How did you come about to become the coach at Tri-County?
Well, so when I left for the job at Madison, I was looking to prepare myself to be a head coach, and so I had an assistant head coach and defensive coordinator offer to a 4A school. So I thought that would be a really good opportunity for me to help grow as a coach and kind of get a plan in place as I mature a little bit. So, 2 years go by, I get the phone call, the job's open. I actually had, reason I got it is I had like 7 kids who I used to coach who were at Tri-County call me, even the seniors who were about to graduate. They called me, they're like, apply for this now. So I applied for it the next morning, and here I am.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's
good to get back in the area here.
Good to get back in the area. It's it's like I said, graduating from St. Joe, driving by it on the way into town here, it still feels weird.
Sad, isn't it,
Mm-hmm.
to look over there and see it empty. It should be used somehow, some way. I
Exactly.
think.
Yeah.
That's time for another. It's another story, another time, anyway. So, okay. So, when did you take over as coach, and what have you done so far?
So I was officially named the coach in late April, I believe, was when the board meeting was.
So you've had a full summer with the guys.
Yeah, I've had a full summer. The thing that kind of sucked was not really having the month of May, just because I was in almost Kentucky.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, all I can do is communicate kind of loosely with them and try to get huddle out there and stuff like that and get kids signed up. So as soon as we hit the end of the school year, we hit the ground running. I feel like the kids have done a great job showing up, working hard, staying competitive, pushing each other, building that team culture that we want. Like the turnaround that, for me, I don't necessarily see a turnaround. I see it building. But all of the people who were around the program last year and the year before that, they're like, oh, man, this is night and day from what it was. And I'm like, awesome, thank you. That's what we're shooting for.
What did you do in the summertime as a team?
As a team, we just focus. Like my thing is I feel like sometimes coaches take themselves too seriously. And I was like, we're going to have more fun than anyone else. I don't care. We're going to have more fun than anyone else. And that's the kids have bought into that, and then it lets them go and relax and be themselves. And I feel like, because of that team cultural building where, we're out here trying to have fun and get our work done at the same time, that's why we keep having new kids, trickle out. So we started the summer with, I think, 25. And right now we're sitting at 33, I think.
Holy cow, that's good numbers for
so
Class A school.
Yeah, so we just have kids keep trickling out.
A lot of underclassmen, you said.
A lot of underclassmen. I think we have like 16 sophomores, something just like ridiculous like that. But hey, I'll take it.
Okay, let's talk about how do you, when you're a new coach, how do you get to know your players and them know you? What's the story there?
Really, I just try to talk to them. I understand. I've heard a lot of coaches, head coaches, talk about how, well, we have. I'm responsible for 30 kids. I'm responsible for 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever the case is. It's impossible for me to build a relationship with each and every one of them. No, it's not. Just go talk to them. Let's go talk to them.
Sure.
So I made it a point over the summer. I tried to have just a personal conversation that was unrelated to football with 4, 5, 6 kids a day. Whatever it was. It might be while we're lifting weights. I might go over to one kid and just, how was work today?
How you doing?
Yeah, how was work today? Oh, you went and mowed yards? That's awesome. Were you on a ride more, push more? What was it? And just talk to them.
Sure.
Show them that you care. And, once they know that you care about them, and then they run with that. They love it. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to show them that we care.
Now, how do you know? Do you watch film from last year, who you have returning, and how do you know where they're going to play, or is that starting all over again with you?
I take it as starting all over. You might watch film of something last year. You might see someone playing O-line, let's say, and they might be just terrible at it. Well, they might have been playing O-line out of necessity, or they might have been playing O-line for whatever reason. So it's, when we came in, I basically said, hey, I want to know what your name is, I want to know what year you are, what other sport you play, and what position you play. That's all I care about. So from there we kind of broke it down, and then as we got into the summer, you might see a kid who says he's a wide receiver and bro couldn't catch a cold in an ice storm. You're like, all right, I think you can put your hand in the ground, buddy. So it's stuff like that. You give them a chance to go out and be who they want to be, and then get them to understand that what's best for the team is what's best for the team, and that's what we got to go with.
Now, it's no surprise to you, Tri-County is coming off a really, really rough year last year. How do you start going the other way, other direction?
Well, I think that first step is just building, like I said, that culture and that belief. I'm Carroll is coming off of a sectional and a 9-win season, and they're super heavy in juniors and seniors. And Timmerhorn, I like to run the ball. I feel like it's the most direct way to winning.
Imagine that. The lineman.
The lineman wants to run the ball. So JP does a great job for us out of the backfield. He's done a tremendous job this year at
season views on it.
The Midwest Conference seems pretty even just from what I saw at the Jamboree. I feel like every team has a shot to win it, and every team has a shot to finish last. It looks like it's very much so. You could, if you play 3 bad games, you could be in last. You play 3 good games, you could be in first. So it'll be really interesting to see how it shakes out, and hopefully we're on top.
So you had a Jamboree. What did that entail, and what did you learn from that?
So the Jamboree was the entire conference played at North White.
Really?
It was
Is that the first time that's happened?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all played.
So you just play alternate quarters then?
Yeah. So we would one team would be on offense for 15 minutes, and the next team would be on offense after the 15. You'd flip, and then you'd play the next team. So there was 8 of us, and we all played 2 games.
I see.
So we played North Newton and North White. I don't know who everyone else played. I have the schedule at home, but so we all played 2 games.
Oh, they're all here anyway.
Yeah, they're all here. They're all here anyways. But no, they all looked super competitive. Like I said, it's you don't really win or lose scrimmages because obviously you're not game planning for someone. So
right.
There's a lot of ebb and flow to it and leeway and stuff like that. So no, I was really impressed with what I saw out of the teams in the conference and excited to get to work.
What are your expectations for your team this year?
Honestly, the first thing was just getting them to buy in and believe that we can go and be competitive and win games, and that's been accomplished. So next, is obviously getting that first win. Getting that first win is going to be huge, not just for me, but also for them. But I would like to compete for a conference title. I feel like we're capable of that. Like as I said, I feel like the conference is very even. If we can compete for that conference title by the end of the year, and we're in that running, I definitely feel like the turnaround is well in hand.
Talk about your coaching staff.
Coaching staff. So we have the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator Scott Lucci, who previously had worked had been on the staff after I left. He took over as a DC. So he took 1 year off last year. He's back now. We have Steve Schimmerhorn, who's helping coach wide receivers and defensive backs. Then we have Aaron Franks, who is on the Tri-County Wall of Fame. He's
good recall there.
Yeah. He's coming back. He's coaching quarterbacks for us. Scott's coaching running backs and linebackers. I've got O-line, D-line, and then Dave Dunafin is helping out as well. And then on the junior high side, we've got Matthew Bowman and Jamie Wirtz are helping out there. So we got a lot of great human beings for our kids to look up to. And
so you look like the program is going to be
absolutely
shooting on the rise.
Absolutely,
here.
I'm excited for it.
Well, we're excited to have you here. Welcome back to the community, and look forward to talking to you each week about your program. And of course, we have some some games lined up. Trike one, we play all these guys.
Yeah, we'll see all them later on in the year.
See all them later on.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming over. Hope you enjoy the pizza.
I did. It was good.
And we'll see you next week, okay?
All right, we'll see. Thanks for having me.
Jake West from the Tri-County Cavaliers back with more of the Coach's Cage program on 3KGthecage.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student-athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main Street in Brook. That's Community State Bank in Brook, one of our new sponsors here on 3KGthecage.com. Rolling along. Good friend of ours.
When people ask me, like, hey, should you play football? I said, any male should play football.
Especially at a small school, right?
Yeah. Everybody should play football. Football's fun.
So what do you do in the summertime?
We went to Manchester this year. We hadn't gone the last 2 years. And that's something we like to do, is go to Manchester camp. It's a time for us to get away and just be the team. And they get to be kids with each other. They get to be kind of on a campus, college campus. They get to kind of understand how that life is like.
Sure.
Fun time for everybody that goes. There's a lot of football is played. There's funny stories that always come from it. And the kids are closer together afterwards. So it's always a good time. And we went there and we had some success. We played against a lot of bigger schools and were able to do quite a few good things. And we've had pretty good summer attendance all year. So it's been a pretty good summer, been a pretty productive summer. We've had a lot of change and turnover in the coaching.
Tell us about that.
This year. I had 2 assistants that one ended up going to Twin Lakes and one stepped back because he was looking at changing his jobs, and they weren't teachers. So I get that. And we enjoyed having both of them, but both of them had to make decisions there. So we have calling defense this year is Greg Bushman, who just joined the staff last year. He's a math teacher at the school. And then we brought up one of our middle school coaches, Tyler Napier, and he's now one of our assistants. Then we brought back Nate Neely, who was our quarterback about 7 years ago.
Remember the name, yeah.
Yeah, he's had a brother that graduated there. He's got 2 brothers on the team this year, and so those are my high school coaches. So then I had to get a new middle school coach because I brought one of them up, and then the other one, he changed jobs, so I had to get 2 middle school coaches. So I was scrambling for a while on the middle school coaches. Yeah. But we've got Ben Goodis there, who coaches basketball for us. You were on offense for 15 minutes, then switch to defense for 15 minutes. And
Do you like
five,
that?
5 minute
Did you
break.
like that or not?
I don't know. I think would have been probably better just to get the more game-like situation out of it. No kicking would be fine. Like doesn't bother me that we didn't do any kicking, but just the more of a feel of it. Because if you didn't make it in 3 downs, it went back to the 40. That's not really a game-like situation.
Right.
So it was fine. I don't know how they picked who was playing who or any of those types of things, but we played in the first 2 quarters back-to-back, so I think Tri-County played in the last 2 quarters back-to-back.
So your night was done early
Yeah,
then,
we
huh?
were done like 7:10. And then we went to the showers, got down there, and we went back out and watched some other football.
Yeah, of course you're always watching other teams,
Yeah,
aren't you?
got to.
So tell us about some of your key players this year.
Well, we got a lot of them. Like I said, we only lost 2 guys that were starters last year. Probably our biggest one is going to be Connor Marlatt. Last year, he was our sophomore. He was our starting quarterback and got injured second play of week 1. And he's back. He's healthy. He's had a great offseason. He understands the offense.
Keep him healthy this year.
He understands the offense, how to run it. So we're looking for really good things out of him. Then our 2 wings, they're back, Aiden White and Spencer Marlatt. Our entire offensive line's back. So we've got.
That's
got
to bring a smile to your face.
We've got some big guys up there that have put in a lot of work this offseason. Left tackle, we have Joe Jackson. Left guard, we have Buzz Beiswinger, who just broke our 3-lift school record. This about 2 weeks ago when we did our maxes. So he's put in a lot of work, and he's looking pretty good right now. And he's coming off like last year, he was coming off an injury on his hand that really limited him a lot of things last year. So he's finally passed that, and I expect a lot of big things out of him. Max Scholes is back at our center. Right guard is Blake Hughes, who had a very high 3-lift total and is about 20 pounds away from being in our top 5 all time. So he did a really nice job there and is getting after in the weight room, and we expect him to do a lot of good things too. And then right next to him at right tackle is his brother, Christian Hughes. And then our receivers right now are Colton Tarr and Chase Mitchell. And then we'll also have a couple other guys, Raul Bazan, who's coming back from an injury, and also Noah Salyer coming back from an injury that's going to be at receiver as well. And then we got a couple new kids that came out that I've told them since they were freshmen that they should have been playing football.
And they finally listened.
They finally listened. They're junior and senior. But Zion Rodriguez is coming out and is going to do a lot of good things for us. He's a wrestler, a very aggressive kid, and we look for him to do a lot of good things for us on defense. And then Austin Boland is the junior that he used to play football. And so like, hey, you need to keep playing football. But he didn't the last 2 years, his freshman and sophomore year, and now he's coming out as a junior and picking up on things quickly. Both of them picking up on things real quickly. So it's been real nice. And then defense, again, we only lost Bladen Huber and Gerardo Salazar off the defense, so everyone else is back. So we've got a lot of guys that have experience. It's just making sure they put that experience to good use this year.
I can tell your expectations are high this year, aren't
yes, we've been talking for a long time about this group and what we could be capable of doing. And I've always told them, like, there's a lot of potential, but potential's dangerous. If you don't use it, and you don't work at it, it doesn't do anything. But they've put in some work. They've done what they're supposed to. We've had a good core. They've put in a lot of work this summer, and I do expect a lot of good things out of them. Our fullback, I didn't mention him, but that's Jaden Miller, and then also Jacob Plarcy's going to rotate in there. So that's a sophomore and junior, and those two are going to do a really nice job for us at that fullback position.
Sounds like you don't have too many positions that are open.
No, not when you got
that's a good thing,
you
isn't
got
it?
9 returners. That makes it a lot easier. But there's been other people that have come to push them along, and we've been talking about this as a coaching staff. We've got on the defensive side, we've probably got 7, 8 guys that we feel comfortable rotating in on the defensive line. So we've got some depth in there that we're going to try to use this year and keep a lot of people fresh and just rotate constantly in there. And hopefully keep giving different looks and keep our guys fresh, that by the end of the quarters, third, fourth quarter, we're fresh and the other teams are going to be wearing down.
We're talking with Mark Hall from West Central, football coach. Mark, do your offenses and defenses change with your personnel each year, or do you run the same thing year after year? What are you doing this year?
We run our triple option, flexible offense. And there's definitely like maybe little tweaks we do to it depending on who we have. There might be years where we want run more option out of it, or there might be years where it's more set plays instead of it being option. So it depends a little bit on how well the quarterback reads things. Defense, we change that probably more so depending on what we have. If we feel that we've got more linemen or more linebackers or more secondary, and typically we don't have a whole lot of linebackers, which is more the case this year, that we don't have a whole lot. What we have is a lot of kids that are more secondary size. So we run a 4-2-5, which looks like a 4-4, but it's not the same. It's not linebacker kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing those outside positions. So we have to do things like that, personnel-wise, sometimes to get things to fit better.
Who do you open the season with, and tell us about that?
We are at home on Friday night, and we play Caston. Now, when we were going to the off season, we started looking at our first 3 opponents to start planning some things out, and then one by one they each changed their coaches. So we got to a point like being in the summer when they had all changed their coaches. It's like, well, we might as well just practice against a bunch of random things and see what happens.
Sure.
To get a lot more experience, or at least to show a lot more things, because we don't know what any of them are going to do for sure. Caston, their coach is Chris Ulrich, who about a decade ago was the head coach, and so I looked up on Huddle and what was Caston doing a decade ago. Like, he's been a part of the program. He's called the defense the last few years, and even then I was like, is that the defense he wanted to run, or is that what the head coach said you are running? So I was looking at film on what did they do offensively and defensively when he was there. So we had kind of an idea and gauge some things, and then we traded film and saw him. We're like, that's what we expected. It's what he'd be doing, is what he was doing about a decade ago.
And the Midwest Conference, what are your preseason thoughts on that?
I mean, there's no reason that it's not open. We've got a lot of guys back. At North Newton, they've lost a lot of guys. They've been dominant in the conference so far, but I mean they're clearly a team that's got to be beat if anybody else wants to win it. They're gonna have to go through North Newton. North White has a lot of kids returning. Frontier, they had a lot of numbers. Tri-County has a lot of numbers. South Newton, they've got to replace their quarterback, and if they can do that, they've got some good things going over there. So it's a conference that there's opportunity, but there's several teams there that are building some momentum.
I'm sure glad the numbers of participants in the Midwest Conference football is going up.
Yes,
that's a good thing.
Yes,
because many years you guys were struggling to have 20.
Well, after injuries, yes.
Yeah.
We typically had 25, but we had to have 7 or 8 injured, and
right.
That catches up with you quick when you have low numbers.
Sure, it does. Well, good luck the first week, and thanks for coming over. We appreciate you coming in every week, and we'll be over at West Central in week number 3 for good Tri-County, right?
Yep.
So that's on a Friday night now. I got to ask that.
Well, right now, yes.
You have one game with South Newton that isn't, right?
We have the South Newton game, yes, and then I've heard a possibility that there's another one that could be moved too, but
just because of shortage of officials.
Yes, and they're wanting to wait to make sure, but they say they're probably leaning towards that.
That's got to be it. Does that bother you at all or not?
If I know in advance, no. If I'm being told, like, the week of, then it's a little bit, because I like having certain schedules we do, because if we're going to play on Saturday, then we could give the kids an extra day off.
And if you play on Thursday like you do at South Newton, how does that change your practice?
Well, I think that one's being moved to a Saturday now.
Oh, it is?
But last year, North Newton, we played on Thursday.
Or was it North Newton?
Yeah, that last year we played them on Thursday, and that was fun. I thought it was interesting, but we knew in advance,
right?
So we could prepare for it. So as long as we know in advance, then we can change the schedule as needed.
You got a goal in mind for this year for your team?
Well, I do.
You're not going to say it, though.
I'm not going to say it.
All right. You had to ask, though.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Well, Mark, appreciate it. It's good to see you again, and have a good year, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
All right, thank you.
Mark Hall from the West Central Trojans. Back with more of the Coach's Cage program on 3KGTheCage.com.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant, and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Reinforcements Designs is a full-service graphic design, screen printing, and sign shop. They offer logo designs, screen printing, banners, signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, airbrushing, vinyl letterings, digital printed graphics, freehand engraving, and more. 37 years of design and graphics, Reem Bontrager will help you come up with a customized project of your ideal or plan. Just ask. Give Reinforcements Design a call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Welcome back to the Coach's Cage program, our season opener here from Arnie's Pizza. Come on out and join us here at Arnie's. Great food, great atmosphere out here, and coaches talking with each other like they like to do when they get done talking here on the radio and on the television, live stream, I should say. Scott Rouse joined us. Scott, good to see you. How you doing?
Doing all right. Getting by.
You've been at this a long time. How many years you been coaching?
37, 38.
Started when you're 7 or 8 then, huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
Man, you still have the competitive juices flowing?
I do. I still enjoy doing it. It is the whole concept of everything going on is still very exciting, trying to put everything together, trying to put all the pieces in the right place and to get things done. And I've seen all – over that time period, you've seen all types of different teams,
Sure.
We've been way down, been way up, and I've been in every situation pretty much at one point or another. So, and this year's going to be it's a new situation for me, so, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a heck of a challenge, and me and the boys are going to get after it and figure out what we can do.
Well, before we start talking about this year, let's go back to last year, refresh our memories. How the Spartans did, and how many players did you lose off last year's team?
Well, we actually, we had a good year conference-wise. We won the conference, went undefeated in the conference.
How many years in a row for the Midwest?
That's 4. That's 4 years now, and which has been pretty good. Been a nice run at that. And our non-conference schedule is pretty strong with Rensselaer and KV and North Judson.
That's
Rensselaer,
pretty stiff competition.
Rensselaer, KV, North Judson, and Delphi are 4 non-conference.
Wow.
And so, we get a good mix, and I liked it. It was good for us. But coming out, we lost, a little bit, but not just in the fact that, you weren't kind of planning on that.
Right.
You plan on, the seniors are going to be gone, so you're planning, last year I'm planning how we're going to replace those guys for the next year, for this year, and I wasn't planning on replacing the whole backfield. So it's a little frustrating, but I guess anybody would be, but that's their choice, and they have the right to pick what they want to do, and that's fine, but it has made it a little more challenging. But at the same time, it's given other kids an opportunity to step in and to do something. And I've had great kids do that. I had 2 seniors that right away moved. That Andrew Clovis played tight end for the last couple of years, and he right away said he would come back and play fullback. Connor Scatella has been an offensive lineman for all 3 years, and now his senior year he's moving to halfback. Now, remember he was an offensive lineman at about 155 pounds. So I mean, it's not like he was a big guy.
Right.
He just filled in there because that's what we needed.
Right.
And he'll play wherever I need him to play, and that's the good thing about these kids that are there. They'll do whatever they have to do. They're not too hung up on what the position is or what they have to do. Whatever we need them to do, they'll do it, or do the best they can at it. And practices have gone well.
How are your numbers?
Well, they're low. I mean, they're low. We got.
You're not used to that.
No. It's different. We have 20 right now. I got 20 on the roster right now, and going into Friday night, I think we're going to have. I got 20. 2 of them don't have enough practices. One of them's academically ineligible, so that takes you down to 17. And then I got one's injured and one's sick, so I got 15 guys available to play Friday night.
Can you play with that number?
Well, you only need 11.
Well,
so provided nobody gets hurt, we'll be fine. Playing time's not going to be too much of an issue this year. I don't
doesn't
think.
Sound like
it
it.
Don't sound like people that. So obviously, with that being said, and don't misunderstand. I'm not complaining. I'm not whining about it.
Sure.
It is what it is, and we're going to do the best we can at it. We went ahead and had to cancel the JV season because obviously we don't have enough kids to play a JV season. So we went ahead and canceled that. So we're not, and hopefully everybody was able to find somebody to replace us with, so we didn't screw up anybody else, any other schools in that respect. So, but we're getting ourselves ready, and we're going to show up on Friday nights, or I know we got at least one Saturday game.
It's a mixture this year.
Yeah, we got at least one Saturday, maybe another Saturday. So we got a mixture, but we're going to show
KB
up.
games on Saturday, I think.
Saturday, I can't remember which one.
I had to keep it tracked with the ADs. So
yeah, Mr. Zachary told me one of them was for sure, and another one it's going to be, but I don't remember which one in what order that's going to happen. But because of the lack of officials and not getting them, but that's fine. We're going, I told him, I said, that's okay with us. We're available all night because I ain't got nothing else. We're not playing any JV or anything. Things are going good. And I was just telling the other coaches, I said one of the things that's been new to me is trying to figure out what's the best way to go about practicing and getting kids the most that they need with that low a number of kids, because I'm used to having, 35 kids, and you can have lots of different groups and you can do a lot of different things. And it's just not the same. We'll go over and I'll go work with the halfbacks, and I got 3 of them. So it doesn't take very long to go through the ropes, do some ball drills and that. I mean, it
better not get any injuries.
No, it's thin. Well, I mean, as I said, it is what it is,
Sure.
And that's what we got, and we'll see how it goes. And the kids they're excited. They're ready to get going and ready to get started, and we'll see what happens. This first week, we'll host South Newton. It's a big game. Our kids want to do well. I keep telling our kids, the South Newton kids are going to want to do well. I said, they smell blood in the water. You got 20 guys. They're going to be coming after you. They got some confidence. They're doing well. Brad's doing a heck of a job over there. I said, they're going to be ready to go. I said, we need to make sure that we make as few mistakes as possible because we're not going to be able to overcome a lot of mistakes.
Do you worry about physically being okay? Stamina?
Well, I do a little bit. Because especially here in August, it's really hard. We've conditioned well because and they know it, and I've been on them. You guys are going to play a lot. You got to be in unbelievable shape. And what's scary is the weather hasn't been horrible.
No.
And what's scary is, we'll get to Friday night, and all of a sudden it'll be so humid.
It's going to be the hottest day of the year.
Yeah,
Friday.
I'll have 10 guys go down with cramps and we can't even play. If I get to that. So I'm telling them, you got to pump the water into you. You got to drink a lot of fluid because I think it's supposed to be nice Friday. It's supposed to be back down in the low 60s. I don't think it's supposed to get hot till next week, but then you got that to worry about. That's always going to be a factor here,
sure.
Especially in August. So far this season, we've gotten fortunate with the weather. So, hopefully that'll keep it up, and we won't have that problem.
Tell us about some of the key players offensively and defensively for the
Well,
Spartans.
I talked a little bit about it already. The Andrew Clovis and Connor Scatella, both of them moving themselves to the backfield, both playing linebacker on defense. They're going to be very important for us. They're two seniors that are very important to us. Playing both ways, playing on all the special teams. Caleb Johnson is another one who he's a halfback and a middle linebacker. Played middle linebacker for us last year and a little bit of time in the backfield, but not a lot. But, coming back, he's a junior. We're looking for big things out of him. And then, this year it's a brand new quarterback. I had two guys work at it kind of in the summer to camp. Rhett Fox, who's a sophomore, lefty, and then Hayden Lacoste, a freshman kid. We had those two working at, so working quarterback and working on the different plays and doing the things. So, our linemen are big too. The juniors, Diego Diaz and Sebastian Schoon and Bryce DeCamp, those three guys are going to be mainstays on our offense and defensive lines. They're all three juniors, and they're going to have to produce because we don't have a lot of other people.
First game's always the big rivalry game, isn't it?
It is. I mean, this year it is. I mean, it's getting moved after this year.
Is it?
Yeah, this is the last time it's going to be the first game.
So your schedule's going to switch after this year?
Our schedule after this year changes, especially up at the top. Cause
new teams? Or?
Yes, a couple of new teams. Because KV's dropping us because they're picking up Hanover into their conference. So that was the week they needed to get Hanover Central on the schedule. So that was week 4. Week 3, North Judson dropped us for the same kind of thing, some kind of conference deal that they had to do.
It's hard to find football games.
It starts to find it hard. And then we did, though, because we found, not this year, but the next year we'll open with Carroll. And South Newton will move to week 4. And then we'll still have Rensselaer week 2. And then week 3 we're going to play Lake Station. We already picked them up. The only thing we don't have yet is a week 7 because Delphi's also dropping us because they added a team in their conference or something, and they had to have that week 7 after this year. So we're still looking for a game there.
Man.
But, and then really late in the season when it really gets tough because everybody's in conference stuff then usually. So, but, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I know it's going to switch around a little bit, but for this year, that's the way we're going.
So what are your expectations for the Spartans this year?
Well, my expectations always say, we're going to play hard. I said just go out, play hard, enjoy it. I always tell kids, I said you should play football because because it's hard, it's what makes it good. But I said the other thing is once you get out of high school and you move on, I can go play old-timer basketball. I can go play slow-pitch softball to get my baseball fill. I can go play golf. I can play tennis. I can do that. Now, you ain't going to put pads on and run into stuff anymore. So, this is it. This is your opportunity to do that. You're not going to do it once you get older. So I said this is the time when you should be doing it. I don't want any kid to have a regret that they didn't do it. And the kids that didn't play, I always tell them the same thing. I said, I've been around a long time. I've known a lot of people who have come back and said they regretted not playing. I've never met one person who came back and said they regretted playing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that didn't play and then they regret it because you're not going to get that opportunity again. So I try to get them in there, but they got what they got to do, and that's fine. The guys that show up, we're going to go and play, and we'll see what happens.
Now, did North Newton change classes this year or no?
Yeah, we are now single A.
Single A?
Yeah, we dropped down to single A.
Just for football or for all sports?
Just football, I believe.
Football?
I don't think it's changed in the.
So
it's just when you have the 6.
What section are you in now?
We are in with Pioneer. So I got a lot better.
Pioneer.
Oh yeah, I got a lot better. Pioneer, North Judson. I believe we're in with Pioneer, North Judson.
Oh, there we go.
But it's, and I didn't really. I don't have it.
You just said enough right there. Those two teams.
I don't have it committed to memory yet because all I've worried about is let's get the season going and get in the conference. We need to do well in the 5 conference games. I said let's play well in those 5, and then whatever else happens.
Talk about the Midwest Conference there.
Well, it's going to be very competitive this year, you know. And I think I've heard the other coach say, hey, and Jake was right. You can lose 3 and you can be last, and you could win those 3 and be first.
Sure.
You know, and every game I think is going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to who makes the most plays at the right time. And I think any of the 6 teams could come out on top. I mean, we're definitely past where we were definitely the best, you know, because we beat teams, you know. We didn't really have a lot of trouble with that, but in the last couple of years, it's gotten closer and closer, and this year's going to be really close, and we're going to have to play really, really well with just a few guys, and it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, because it was weird to say West Central has over 30, South Newton has over 30 on their teams, so
right. So,
they were almost flip-flopped there. Yeah,
everybody's up there. Yeah, Tri-County, everybody's up there, and, you know, and got it. And
they're flip-flopped when it used to be.
North White's we got the least amount, and we went to, like I said, that Jamboree Friday, and we definitely had the least amount of kids.
What'd you learn from the Jamboree?
Well, it went. What I learned was it went better than I thought it was going to. Cause, you know, you're going in, I had 15, 16 kids, and I said, I don't see how this is going to go. I don't know how we're going to compete, and I don't know how it's going to fit. But, you know, we went to quarter with Frontier, and we competed really well, and I thought we looked pretty good, you know. And then we went against Tri-County, didn't look quite as good, and I attributed to that. So that's why I told the kids all week, we got to get in better shape. I think, you know, you got to that second quarter, you got a little bit tired, because it was the same guys playing, because we don't have subs. So, I mean, it was interesting. I think it was a really good thing for the fans. The fans really, I think, liked it better than the scrimmage because it kind of kept moving and going.
So all the Midwest Conference teams were there at one field?
We're all at North White, yeah, and they played 6 quarters, so everybody played 2 quarters. So we were like the 3rd quarter and the 5th quarter. So, you know, so you played 2 teams. We played Frontier and Tri-County. So I don't know how they came about picking who was doing what, but I mean they did. And the ADs got together and decided to do this, and that, you know, it was good for the fans. Did I like it as well as the scrimmage? Yeah, it was okay, but I mean probably not.
Yeah.
Because it's a 15-minute running clock. I don't get the opportunity to stop them, coach them. This is what you did wrong, you know, or even ask the other coach, hey, what did you guys do there? Why are we struggling with that? Because you wouldn't do that because they're teams you play. That's the other part about it. It's tough.
Is this just a one-year deal, or is it going to go on?
I think they're going to keep doing it.
Okay.
I think that's the plan for the ADs anyway.
Last question, coaching staff, who you have this year?
Adam Kowal's back. I've had him the last few years. The only thing is a change because Sam Zachary became the AD. He got out of football. So I went from running the defense back over to running offense again, and Adam Kowal's going to be my defensive coordinator, putting together defense. I then have a new teacher that came in, teaching junior high social studies now, Chandler Spring, that we hired this year. He's coming to help coach football. I think he's going to help in basketball too. And then Anthony Gillespie, who is from the area, who graduated from North Newton, played for us back in 2015 or 16, was an all-state defensive lineman for us.
Has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller with you here on the Coach's Cage program on 3KG, thecage.com. And going to shift our attention to South Newton football and Coach Brad Beavis. Brad, good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, good. Well, except for the wreck outside, but as I came in.
I
didn't cause it. I didn't cause it, but after I pulled in, I heard it.
Right by St. Joe there?
Yeah, right as they turned into a Walmart over there. It looked pretty bad, so hope they're doing all right.
Oh, man. Got to watch it. These busy streets of Rensselaer, you know.
I know.
That's tough. So, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Off to a great start with our team, and two really good weeks of weather, really. So that always helps.
Absolutely.
It's like abnormal August weather for us, so that's nice. And
let's go back and recap last year. It was a pretty good year for the Rebels, right?
Yep, finished up 5-5.
I know you're going to say, well, it should have been 7-3.
Oh, no, would you, should you, could you? We had a great season last year. Played a lot of younger kids. We had 5 freshmen start in our sectional game against Culver. And Culver's they had 16 seniors started. I think their entire offense was seniors last year. So just we ran into a really tough team there and just weren't quite ready for that from a physical standpoint, I don't think. But all those kids are back. We got 8 starters on offense and 9 starters returning on defense. So we got a lot coming back.
Holy cow.
We do lose a pretty good kid at quarterback and Corbin Cruz, but I think as a collective, I think that we can replace that, and we're off to going to have a good season, I'm hoping.
What did you do in the summertime as a football team?
Normal stuff. You get in there and lift. We had pretty decent attendance in June. July's kind of hard to get to Fair Week, and people start taking vacations. We all wish that they were dedicated 100% of the time, but
sure.
They still need to be kids. Sometimes you got to sit back and remember, I didn't want to be at those practices either. Sitting next to the swim pool is a lot more fun than coming and lifting sometimes. But overall, it was a good summer. We went to 3 7-on-7s and played pretty well. We went down to Morrisville and didn't do too hot in the pool play. It was the first time we got together, and we were kind of working through some things, but we got into the playoffs and played really well and ended up losing by like 6 points to the eventual champion with a small school, so I felt pretty good about that. And our other games, we lost by about a score too, so we didn't play terrible, just some things we need to work out. So coming out of that, we felt, okay, we got some things to work on. We go over to Twin Lakes with some more local teams there and end up winning the Silver Bracket Championship, which basically means we finished 3rd in our pool play, and then we went on to face other teams that were 3rd and 4th.
I see.
And so that kind of second tier, but we won that and played really well. The 2 teams we lost to in our pool play played for the championship of the gold. So we feel pretty good about that. So,
sure.
And then we went over to Clifton Central and played. That's more of an instructional one. It's not really a tournament. It's just you play about 7 games. We went over there and played pretty well with about 6 kids, and we actually put our manager in for a while, and she played some middle linebacker for us. So just a good summer there around. We only had 1 11-on-11. Went all the way over to Southern Wells, to a school we had kind of a relationship with over there, and we looked all right. Our defense looked very fast as a group, and came out there pretty excited about that. So I check it off as a pretty productive summer overall.
And the Jamboree, what'd you think about that, and how'd it go?
I like the live aspect of it. It's hard to get some kids in there that are a little bit younger sometimes.
Right.
But I think as far as getting live reps, it's much better than the scrimmage. The scrimmage is a little bit better maybe for the younger kids or if you got to instruct some kids there. But overall, I think it was good. Our whole conference getting together, I think it's a good thing. I know when we got there, they announced the attendance, and it was like over 1,000 people, and that was in the second quarter.
Wow. So
Tri-County hadn't showed up yet. And maybe there's some people traveling. That was still 5:30 our time, 6:30 there. So people get off work coming for a little bit later. So I think we had a good gate. So that's always good for our conference. I think they split that, and I hope we continue to go with it forward. It's just a little bit different. You got to get used to it, but it's no different than other changes they make.
Right. Right. All right, let's talk about your team. Individuals you think are going to contribute this year, both offensively and defensively.
I think our line's going to be a big determining point. We got 2 seniors up there on our offensive line, Grant Schutte and Hayden Basewick at tackles. And I think they're going to anchor it from the outside. There's 2 kids that got a lot of playing time. They're strong kids, and I think they're good. They just got to stay focused. We got 2 sophomore guards that they played as freshmen on defense, but now they're going to start on offense
They grow?
as well. Yeah, they did.
All right.
And that's David Van Wienen and Caden Martin. And they're 2 good-sized lineman kids. They're linebackers on defense, so they can move a little bit. And we got them at guard, so they're going to have a little bit of a learning curve, playing both sides of the ball this year. But I think they're going to be good. Actually, David's played center now. I forgot we moved him. Sorry. We got Engardo playing guard, who's also a senior. I forgot we moved him back in there. So we got 3 seniors on the line there, and then we got the 2 sophomores. So we're going to be pretty solid there. We just got to gel. Like I said, we had a really good 7-on-7 this summer, and that's because our skilled kids are really good. We got Lucas Baguski, Chase Stillbauer, Corbin Cruz, and Sean Mikasa as our skilled guys at receiver and running back. And we got Evan Krug, who's stepping in at quarterback this year.
Now, we did a game last year where he had to come in when Cruz got hurt,
Cruz
right?
got hurt, yep.
So he's not unfamiliar
He's
with
not
things.
unfamiliar. He started all year at receiver. He's not unfamiliar, but it's still, when you're the man, there's a little more pressure.
Yeah,
When you're stepping in, there's not so much pressure. So he's been through it, and he's a junior, he's got some growing pains. Yeah. So, I think he'll be all right. He's got the skill set, and he's athletic enough to do it. We just got to work on, just that composure and just being a leader, and that's something you don't doesn't come overnight. You just got to kind of grow to it, and it's growing pains for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, like I said, defensively, I think we're going to be solid defensively. Evan and Chase are going to be good safeties for us. Evan, had 3 or 4 interceptions last year. Had 3 or 4 interceptions as a freshman, so he's an interception machine for us. So hopefully we can continue that. Sean and Lucas will play a little more at the corners for us. So that secondary is the same pretty much as our backfield. So we get a lot of reps. And then you got Luke Patterson and David Van Wienen at middle linebackers. And those are 2 solid kids, 2 big kids, 2 kids that can move. So I'm hoping that our linemen do their jobs and let those 2 guys roam and smack some people around.
There you go. That's right.
And then our outside linebackers are Caden Martin and Corbin Cruz, and they're 2 good ones. Corbin's been a 4-year starter for us, both sides of the ball, but defense he's really stood out. And then Caden stepped in last year as a freshman. So all 4 of those linebackers are playing the exact same position again. They got a year experience, and the guys in front of them got a year experience. So I think we're going to be pretty solid up front defensively.
So you got a lot of players playing both ways?
We do. We got some subs. We got Noah Akers, who'll step in on both sides of the ball and be a sub on defensive line and offensive line. Keegan Hall, who started the game for us last year and on offensive line, and then started the sectional on defensive line. He can come in and play a little bit here as a sub too on both sides of the ball. So we got some subs we can play in there. We got a couple kids. We got Thomas Applegate, who's a freshman coming in, who's kind of impressing us a little bit. He's probably going to get some playing time at receiver and DB. Then we got a couple upperclassmen who come out for the first time. We're just trying to see how they filled out. So we got some guys to sub it a little bit. We're not real deep overall, but we got some guys that come in and give some guys some breathers, come in on special teams and do some things for us to keep guys healthy, hopefully.
We're talking with Brad Beavis, South Newton football coach. And, Brad, I'm sure your expectations are pretty high. Coming off last year, you want to build off that, right?
Yeah, we do. Last year we kind of started to learn how to compete, started learning how to win. And we kind of set the tone this year. We started from day one saying, okay, we're past that now. Now it's time for us to take that next step and see if we want to start competing for some conference titles and get back into a sectional running here. Our sectional's pretty tough. So that's going to be a challenge. Our conference, I think, it's not wide open. I think North White is probably the favorite. I think you got to think they're the favorite with how everything went, but I think we're going right behind them. You take away a couple long runs by the Quaysbarth kid, he's really good. Last year he broke loose for a 70 or 68-yard and a 92-yard touchdown on us, and so he's a great athlete. He broke some tackles, but you take those 2 plays away, and it's a ball game's a toss, and we haven't probably down 2 touchdowns in the first half. So I think they're the favorite. I think we're right next to them. Of course, everybody else is going to be in the same boat. West Central is going to be kind of tough. They got some kids coming back. North Newton's down, but that's going to be a rivalry game for us this week, and that's not going to be easy either. And Frontier's got a new coach. And they looked really good during the Jamboree. They looked really excited and looked like a totally different team. So I wouldn't say the conference is up for grabs, but I think anybody can win it. But I think North White's probably the favorite.
Surprised with Scott saying he only had like 15 healthy bodies. I mean,
yeah, he's struggling
besides
a little bit.
Grades and whatever injuries and
transfers.
Yeah, he's got a lot of.
Yeah, and that hurts a program, small program. Like they just dropped down. I know you talked to them about that. They dropped down to 1A, so their enrollment's really dropping. I bet they've dropped over 100 kids since I've got here.
Really?
9 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they've dropped considerably. I never would have thought they'd be in 1A, and here they are. They're a sectional opponent now as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
we
know
could have a
that.
little Newton County first time we've ever played in the postseason, probably.
I would bet, yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. But anyways, yeah, he's, but Scott's a good coach, and he'll have his guys ready to go. And
yeah, talk more about the opener.
Yeah, it's North Newton, South Newton. North Newton's got the best of us the last 5 years, so we're not real happy about that at all. Actually, their longest winning streak is 6, so we're going to try stopping that so they don't tie that baby. But, yeah, they're going to be a tough team. I know they're going to be physical with their wing tee. They're going to be physical with their 3-4. They're going to come, they're on blitz a little bit and get in our face. And but like I said, I think our kids are ready to absorb that and take it right back to them this year. And I don't think our kids are scared of them at all. But you got to beat them. You got to beat 5 straight times. You got to beat them.
How's your conditioning, do you think, so far this year?
I think we're good. I think the weather right now has been really good.
Not been like the middle of August, has it?
Right. So it's allowed us to really pour on the conditioning. We can run the kids. We do tires and gassers. So tires and gassers for us is a full gasser is across the field and back twice. And then half the other team, or half of our team, is now flipping tires, tractor tires. By that time, then they switch. So we do. We start off with doing 2 fulls, and then 4 halves. So just down and back, or across and back.
Timed?
Timed. Oh yeah, they don't make time. They do it again. So we start off that, and then we build our way up to that. So we have a pretty intense conditioning on Monday, and we kind of back it off the rest of the week. We kind of do more of the traditional. We do some 80s. So they're not turning all the time, but we do like 12 80s on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, depending on how the practice is going, we either take it away or we do some short burst of things. So, but I feel like we're in good shape. I think the weather's going to be good. So as long as our kids have been hydrated the last few days and keep hydrating, I think we'll be okay.
Now I heard Scott from North Newton say they have dropped their JV program. Are you guys going to have one?
We are right there. We got 4 other kids that need to get eligible. They just came out late, so we'll get 2 more eligible next week and then 2 more the week after. Once we're fully eligible with our kids, we should have 26. I think we have the right numbers, and we'll be able to play probably a few JV games as long as everybody stays healthy. Modify the rules where we can have 12 contact days with the kids, so we can actually start to do competitions and stuff like that. That's good or bad. I don't know how you want to think about it, but everybody's doing it, so you got to do it. So, yeah, we got a lot of our offensive stuff installed in the summer. Defense is kind of a little bit harder, I think, outside of your pass coverage to install. So defense is really heavily installed during these first weeks. But offense, I think we're ready to go. I mean, I think we have our kids know what we're doing. We have a lot, like I said, we have 8 returning starters. I think our kids know. We just got to go out there and actually do it. That's the thing you don't know. They're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids sometimes. They know on Thursday. They don't know on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't talk about your coaches, did we yet?
We have not. I got my same coaching staff on the high school level back.
Man, that's unusual too.
It is. So I actually got it pretty easy. I'll say their names first and kind of tell you why I think it's easy for me. We got Blaine Durham, Jason Krug, and Mike Patterson as our paid assistants. And actually got my football coach, Phil Halsema, up. He's the technology director at Seeger, and he drives up a couple times a week and helps me out. He's on my staff. I say it's easy because Coach Durham runs the offense, Coach Krug runs the defense, Coach Patterson runs the special teams.
And you just oversee them all.
And I just oversee them all. I'm like a CEO. And that's fun until like something goes wrong, and then
you just blame them.
Right, but I can't blame them because it's me. So it's easy, it's fun. We've been together for about 3 years now, so things flow pretty good. We work really well to each other. We're not afraid to, I wouldn't say question, but we're not afraid to make sure we question things that go on to make sure we do what's right for the kids. So we're always trying to do things for them, but. Yeah, like I said, I have a great staff. I can't ask for better guys. They take care of a lot of things for me. As a head coach, these other guys can tell you too. It's a lot more than just showing up on the sidelines. There's a lot of paperwork. I had to go get girdles. Have to go get helmets fixed. You have to go talk to the athletic trainer about putting decals on your helmet on a Wednesday night because you got to put 26 of them on. You got to coordinate with this and that. So that allows me to do a lot of the administration things, so I don't have to spend hours at the school. I can do that a little bit at the beginning of practice and get some things out of the way.
Now South Newton started a flag football program too, right?
We did, yep. So last year we started a flag football league for K through 3, and this year we expanded it K through 5. So basically our whole elementary school.
Get them introduced to football.
We're trying to get enough out. We actually start tomorrow. So if anybody still needs a registration form, get a hold of me or just show up. We'll take them all. It's $30 per kid. We got 5 weeks. We do a skill night, which is Thursday tomorrow. And then we got 4 weeks of games.
What day of the week?
It's all Thursdays.
Oh, everything's Thursday.
Everything's Thursday.
You practice and you play.
We practice and we play. So we do 5:15s when we start. So we do our practice at the high school level, and then our kids help coach it and help officiate it, help run the concession stand. It's kind of our fundraiser overall. But it's great. We had a great turnout last year. Parents seem to love it. The parents get to sit around the field.
Sure.
We separate about 5 yards between the game fields for the kids, and parents sit right there, and they love it.
Run them sideways, I assume.
Yep, run them across the field. Yep, and it went over a lot better than I thought. I mean, it was a good idea, but once I seen it in action, I was like, this was great. And that was it wasn't my idea; it was my assistant's idea.
Well, Rensselaer does it. I think Tri-County is doing it.
Are they
this
doing
year.
it?
I'm not for sure on that, but I know Rensselaer does it. So
yep.
that's good.
I think it's a great thing. I think we're competing with baseball, we're competing with basketball, and kids and parents. The contact, they don't want it sometimes.
Right.
They're afraid. The parents are afraid of injuries and stuff, and this is a way to eliminate a lot of that failure or fear of injury or failure or whatever.
And see how fun it is.
See how fun it is. Get them out there, and it says football to its name, and then hopefully we get them out in middle school and we get our middle school numbers up. That's really why we started. It was our middle school numbers were dropping. We were losing kids, so we had to do something there. And I think it's the way that football's going to go. Honestly.
I think talking with Mark and talking with Jake from Tri-County, their numbers are way up this year. Do you see that reverse trend going upward now?
Yeah, I think a little bit. We're up a little bit than what I expected. I think kids' participation is kind of coming back into being cool, if you want to say you want to put it. I think there for a while kids were just being, I don't want to do anything type idea, or we had specialized kids. And now I think they're starting to get, especially in our school, they're starting to get where they want to play multiple sports. I got a couple kids like Lucas Boguski, who's a pretty good athlete, 100-meter dash winner of the conference, I think, and 200, I think. He set school record both those. I think he just won one of those this past year. Anyways, good athlete, played football, didn't play basketball, played all through middle school. I think he's going to come out for basketball this year. So we just got to get those kids that are good athletes and kids that are do other sports to help build up other programs, and hopefully that'll help build up our program by bringing kids over.
Brad, always good to see you.
Yep.
And good luck on Friday night, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Yep, I'll be here.
All right. Brad Beavis from the South Newton Rebels. Back with more of the Coach's Cage on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Coach's Cage program here on 3KGthecage.com. Bob Kurtz and Scotty Miller with you here tonight. We're running through our season opener on the Coach's Show. Right here, sir. Nice to meet you, Bob Kurtz.
Kirk Kennedy.
Hi, Kirk.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Put those headphones on, and we'll do a little talking. All right. So anyway, we have, don't forget, we have the Coach's Cage show every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Glad to see all of our 6 area coaches in, and welcome back to the area. I know you've been around here, these parts before, but tell us how you got to be the head football coach at KV here.
Well, I was down at Franklin County, which is in Brookville, which is so more or less in the Cincinnati area.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I grew up. That's my roots.
Oh, really? Okay.
Aurora, Indiana is my hometown, which is down on the river just south of Cincinnati. And I grew up in a little town called Waynesville, Ohio, which is north of Cincinnati. So my hometown and where I grew up was like within an hour of where I was living.
I see.
So it was awesome, and
Mm-hmm.
and down there for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, and I was the head coach for 6 of those 8 years. And the last 2 years that I was there, wasn't coaching at all.
Really?
And I was looking at retirement. Just kind of, well, this is it. I'll call it a career and right off into the sunset.
Sure.
And, the KV opportunity came about, and I know John Gray, the AD at KV.
Absolutely.
I've known him very well for a long time. And,
Sure.
And I wouldn't say we were friends, but we were, maybe a little bit more than acquaintance. We, casual friends,
Right.
I'll say, enough to know each other and have conversation. And so, the interest was there, just knowing the community, the school, and when I met the administration there, Mr. Street, Mr. Spagna, Ryan Myers, the new principal at KV.
Sure.
Those guys, they love their school. They're proud of it. They want to win. They've built top-notch facilities there.
Absolutely.
And it's not the KV that I remember. When I was on the other side of the sideline.
Yeah, you did some time at Lowell, right?
I was the head coach at Lowell for 19 years.
19 years, yeah.
Yeah, and I left in 2010. So it's been 12 years since we've been in
So
the area.
you're familiar with KV
Sure.
and playing them all those years. So
Sure, and I think that, like I said, they've made a commitment to winning, and it's not just that. It's they kind of put their money where their mouth is, and we got some great coaches on our staff, some great kids, and I think we're heading in the right direction. Just how long it takes us to establish a consistent program. I mean, that's just based on buy-in and how many people we can get on board.
now, did you have a chance to work with your kids during the summer?
Yeah, we moved up Memorial Day weekend. So, the latter part of May, first part of June. So, and coming up from Brookville, it's about, about 3.5 hours. So it came up, maybe every second or third weekend.
Right.
Took advantage of those cheap gas prices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you get to know, when you're a new coach, how do you get to know your players and for them to know you? Or is that an ongoing process still?
It's a process, and I think, certainly we know each other a lot more now than we did, a couple months ago, but it's a process. You kind of have your first meetings, and you're looking around the room, and you're seeing these kids, and, the faces, it's like you don't know them yet, you're kind of wondering what that kid does or who that kid is or if that big kid in the corner's any good or, you have your thoughts, but, like I said, it's a process, getting to know the kids. And I tell you what, from day one, we got into the weight room and they knew how to work. That was what I was most impressed with, was their work ethic and their attitude. And anytime there's a coaching change, there may be some things that are similar that carries over. There may be some things that are different. But it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. And there was buy-in from day one, and we just didn't make excuses, didn't feel sorry for ourselves. We just got after it.
KV fans are watching out there tonight. What kind of football can we expect from Kirk Kennedy playing offensively and defensively? What can the Cougars do?
Well, if things are working right, and we've been working hard to get it there, but kids are going to play hard. We're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to be physical. Schematically, we're going to be multiple out of the 4-4 defense, but you have to be multiple to account for a lot of different offensive looks. So we can run the 4-4, 4-3. We can run a 50. We can run about anything we need to run to account for the opponent's offense and what our attack is against it. And Coach Stewart is our defensive coordinator, Brad Stewart, who
used to coach at KV, and
he was the head coach at KV for 4 or 5 years, and was our defensive coordinator at Lowell for all the whole time I was there. So we're very familiar, obviously, with each other, great friends, and that's
nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, right away I knew, not that any other coach couldn't get the job done, but I knew right away. You know what you're familiar with,
right?
And I knew that the defense was handled, right? Brad was one of the first calls I made, and when he agreed to come on board, that was the defense is taken care of. So I didn't have to worry about that. But Brad does a great job, and he's a great teacher, great coach, and a great person.
Well,
and
while you're on your coaching staff, just take us through the rest of them then.
All right, I got my cheat sheet.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Because I'm
Meek's the
new
only one
in the late '90s, and Brian DeSomer played outside linebacker for us and fullback in some of our state runs. So on those teams, like in the like the 2008, 2009 round in there, and he was coaching linebackers for us too. And it's nice to have those guys on the staff because they understand the system and what you're trying to get done, especially early on.
Right.
But quality guys from like Ryan Armstrong, Cody Scott, Justin Fuqua, Mark Deerdorf. All those guys are. I didn't know him from Adam. Really kind of take a leap of faith. And obviously, Mr. Gray gave me some recommendations on some people, and
sure.
You act on that because I don't know them.
Right.
But they've turned out to be not only great coaches but great people. In the coach's office, we get along like
that's important.
Like it's a fraternity in there. We laugh and cut up, and there's problems to solve too, and we do that. But
you spend so much time with the coaches, you got to have people you like.
It's got to be like a family in there. You got to get along. Got to be able to function.
Right.
And for the most part, we've kind of come together and grew together as a staff pretty seamlessly. And we got a couple of young coaches, Nick Penn and Jake Voico, on our staff that they work with the freshmen, but they also we have our staff together. We platoon our staff to where they all coach a position, and then when it comes time to say get into our team periods, that's when the freshmen go down to their end of the field and have their separate practice from us. So we all go through the same the individual period, we call it, in practice.
Right.
Where everybody in our program, from varsity all the way down to freshmen, is getting the same fundamental work. And we think that that's going to benefit us not only now but in the future. So all of our staff members have a huge role in what we're doing. They're not just standing back and kind of watching somebody else do stuff. Everybody's got a role. Everybody's got a job, and they're all doing their jobs. And you give them ownership like that, and when they're contributing to the to the greater good, that's because the way we organize our staff. I've had over the years very little turnover. Because our coaches coach.
Right.
You hire great people, and what's leadership 101? Hire great people, get out of their way, and let them do their job.
That's right. Exactly.
And that's kind of how we do things.
Who did you play in your scrimmage, jamboree, whatever you call it this year now?
We played Boone Grove.
Boone Grove, and how'd that go? What do you try and learn from that?
Well, in a scrimmage, obviously it's your first live fire, so to speak, against an opponent. You've been beating up on yourself for a few weeks, and it's nice to get out there and play somebody else. And the big positives that we took away were, first of all, we got out of there healthy. You don't want to have an injury in a scrimmage because that kind of makes you step back, shake your head, and wonder what it's all. So no injuries, which was positive, and we played with some enthusiasm. We got after it pretty well. We played physical. We did some things right. Did some things that we needed to work on, but that's kind of what that's all about in a scrimmage. Kind of exposing some of your weaknesses,
sure.
Maybe some things that haven't happened in practice that are going to happen on a Friday night. So, yeah, like I said, I'm proud of the kids for the way they They got excited about play because you can control that. We want to be not only the most physical team on the field, but we also want to be the most excited team on the field. And I think those are choices.
I didn't ask you how many players you had out for this year's team.
42. 42.
You happy with that number?
From 10th grade up, 42, and we got another 20 freshmen.
Those are pretty good numbers, aren't they?
Yeah. And I think for the most part what we have in that 42 was quality, because you get much more than that. I mean, depending on the size of the school and what you're dealing with, but you get much more than that. I think maybe sometimes you turn into a babysitter and kind of you get a lot more than that. It kind of turns things around the other way.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think. I mean, are we there yet? Certainly not. Are we satisfied? Certainly not. But
coaches are never satisfied.
Right,
Come
right.
On, no.
Well, that you can't be satisfied.
No.
But
maybe if you win a state title, you can be
for a while.
1 year,
for a while, and then a couple of weeks later, it's time to get back into the weight room for next year.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I mean, we're making progress, and I think we got a good thing going. We just gotta keep climbing that ladder. We can't have setbacks. We can't have negativity.
Who are some of the key players, both offensively and defensively, for the Cougs this year?
Well, let's start with the offensive line. And again, I got my cheat sheet here. So our center is Ryan. I almost said Ryan. That's the dad. Chase Armstrong. And our two guards, Zach Dodson and where is he there? Evan Mish. And our tackles, Jacob Sandlin and Caden Vander here. They're all seniors.
Wow.
Senior offensive line. And obviously
that doesn't happen very often. Get a senior-dominated offensive line like that.
If we're going to run the football like we want to, the guys up front are going to have to be doing the job.
Sure.
Yeah, and they're because putting weight on your hand and firing out and run blocking pretty much every play, at least 80% of the time, 85% of the time, is different than being light on your hand and pass blocking.
Right.
When you run block, you have to physically whip an opponent, whereas when you're pass blocking, you can kind of get a stalemate, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different fundamentals, different techniques, different mentality.
Yeah.
So and that's we've been on the field practicing since with our summer workouts and everything since like the middle of July. So when you talk about a whole quantum shift in your philosophy and your way of doing things, you got to give the kids a lot of credit. It'd be like going from say I don't know, like maybe a NASCAR driver to an IndyCar driver. Mm-hmm. It's different. So getting back to the kids, Caleb Deerdorf is our tight end right now, along with Kistler. Where's he at on here? There he is, Gabe Kistler. A couple good kids. Kistler is a junior, so that's positive. Having a kid back, but a couple good kids at tight end. We may even go with the double tight look every once in a while.
Sure.
Max Griffey, I like that name. Being from Cincinnati, I like that name, Griffey.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Griffey Senior.
Right.
The real Ken Griffey. but Max is to run the eye, you need to have a fullback, you need to have a tight end. Not to mention tailback and all, but fullback and tight end, which in modern football, kind of rare maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of people. So Max is a big benefit for it. He takes a lot of pride in his blocking. And you have to have that, a selfless person like that knows that his blocks matter, not just, give me the ball. He fullback in an I formation may carry the ball once in a while, but they're like a guard in the backfield.
Right.
Another young kid we got, Marco Castro. He can play tailback or fullback. He's a big kid. He's only a sophomore. So talk about a young kid we got back there. Logan Parks. Probably be our number one tailback. He's a big kid. He's a senior. Returns with a lot of experience. But,
had some good games last year. I remember that.
Yeah. And we're going to rely. Our tailback I formation obviously is a tailback-oriented offense. So I remember a couple times at Lowell. We had some good tailbacks, and I mean this is unusual, but we had a mud game in the playoffs one year, and we gave the tailback, same kid, gave him the ball 55 times.
Now that's controlling the offense there, isn't it?
And obviously I got asked about that after the game, and I said, well, the ball's not heavy, But we do have I would call it a decent battle, a competitive battle. We keep waiting for one or the other to rise to the top and take the job at quarterback.
Really?
Sophomore and a senior. Diego Arroyo is the sophomore. and Andrew Parker's a senior. They have very similar skill sets, and like I said, we're waiting for one or the other. And right now, I think it's a confidence thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because again, the offenses are so different than what they ran last year. So, just kind of getting used to what we're doing. But you know, we got to figure that out here. I think there's a game coming up Friday. I think. So,
I think so. Yeah.
So we might want to have to figure that problem out here pretty soon.
We got a couple days anyway.
You know,
so.
well, what's the hurry?
Well, it may take a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Seriously? Yeah.
So I mean, we're still building. We're still kind of feeling things out, but. You know, like I said, we're making progress. The kids are working hard, and every day's not perfect, but you know, every day we get better at something, and that's what's important.
How about defensively? What do you got?
Our 40 defense, we got the kid that has dealt with some adversity in his career. He had a pretty serious knee injury as a sophomore, and I mean, I'm talking about where losing the leg was an issue. Mirko Dezelich, you know, he's a defensive tackle. He's a kid that he's total adrenaline, total attitude. You know, if he wants to play football, he's hard to block. You know, so we got to make sure Mirko shows up every day ready to play.
Sure.
And some of the guys that I've already Evan Mish, another tackle. We got to talk about a big kid. We got a small kid, Max Lustig. Max had horses in the county fair, so he's one of those rodeo guys. So if it tells you anything about his mentality, he's about half nuts. But
that's all right, right?
Yeah, but he's a smallish guy.
Yeah.
In stature,
Mm-hmm.
but he's big. You know where it matters, heart and guts and everything else. And he's going to play in the backfield for us. He's going to play some defensive tackle, so some linebacker. But you got a little kid like that you know he's a disruptor. You get him in that defensive line, and you know, he blows gaps, and you know so he could be a force for us. You know if he takes advantage of his quickness and does what we expect him to do. Defensive ends, Chase Armstrong, we mentioned him earlier. He's our center. Dotson, where's he at on here? Zach Dotson, yeah, he's our other defensive end, along with the previously mentioned Gabe Kistler. You know, he's big. I call him Lover Boy. He's got it happened in the weight room, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but he maybe he had a date one night after weightlifting or something. But he's Lover Boy. But that goes back to, you know, the 70s rock group, Lover Boy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, they don't know about that nowadays.
No, I do. But,
yeah, Turn Me Loose, you know, all those songs. Yeah. Linebackers, we're kind of, you know, our defensive line, if you look at our two deep, we've got, I believe, 8 people going both ways.
Really?
But that doesn't
Does that concern you or not?
Well, no. Yes and no. It concerns me just from the standpoint of you got you know so few people playing a lot of football, but you know the way we strength train and condition, you know that's not going to be a factor as far as you know running out of gas in the fourth quarter. But to address those issues, we have at more or less every position we got a 3-man rotation. So if you just look at the depth chart and you see the familiar names, you're thinking, man, they got 8 guys going both ways. But like I said, our rotation, they're not really, you know, they're playing pretty steady on offense. And most of the rotations are happening on defense.
I see.
But like for example, you know the defensive tackles we just talked about with Dezelich, Lustig, and Mish. You know that's 3 guys that play 2 positions, things like that. So, yeah, and defensive ends the same way. Our linebackers, Castro, the kid I mentioned earlier, Sandlin plays outside linebacker. Parks, you know our running back Logan Parks plays linebacker. We got a kid that came out. I call him basketball player. You know, it takes a lot of ingenuity to give him that nickname because he plays basketball. And about halfway through the summer, he said, "Hey, Coach, I'd like to play football." So I just started calling him basketball player. But he's a great kid. Logan Raymond. He's, you know, stepping on a football field, and he's going to be able to contribute. So he's outside linebacker, maybe a little safety.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he got some skills and great attitude. Do anything you tell him to do. You know, those are the kind of kids you need. So, defensive backs, we got Loudon Fugit playing corner. Eli Deerdorf playing corner. We got a kid, Adrian Uckman, playing corner. You know, they're all athletic, fast, you know. But it's just, you know, in the early going, getting the – because we like to play a lot of man coverage, maybe, you know, up close, little press man, and it takes a lot of confidence to do that, getting up in somebody's face, because your kids are, especially early on before they really understand the coverage, they're afraid they're going to get beat deep, so they want to hang back. Well, doing that, you end up not covering anybody. Let the receiver have a free release and just do whatever they want. So at least this way, we get up in their face, we're controlling something.
Yeah, right.
So, and that takes away the quick game, and gives our rush time to get there. Makes the quarterback be a lot more accurate. So, and the kid that I mentioned at tight end earlier, Caleb Deerdorf, is our safety, and he's pretty smart back there. He's good, almost like a point guard, directing people around, calling the coverages, calling the strengths, and the formations for our adjustments and all that. So
what do you hope to accomplish this year? What are your goals for the KV football program?
Well, like I said, I just want to, first and foremost, I want our kids to have a great experience playing football. I want them to, young men, develop into men, because that's kind of what it's all about. Right now it's about high school football, but ultimately it's about developing character for the future. And if we can bring our young men along, teach them work ethic, teach them teamwork in a field any particular week, just like we talk about every day, control the things we can control. We can't control the weather, can't control if the other team's star player's hurt or not. Can't quit worrying about things we can't control and focus on things we can control, like our attitude, our preparation, our work ethic, really what's right in front of us. And as long as we take the field every Friday night being the best, Kankakee Valley Cougar football team that we can be, then nothing else really matters.
We're talking with KV football coach Kirk Kennedy. And Kirk, I don't have to tell you how tough a conference you're in. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, every week, if you don't bring it, you're going to end up on the wrong side of that, Highland, Andrean, Munster, it almost seems like that over the years they've taken turns being the big guy on the block, but certainly Andrean's made a few trips down state. Lowell went down in 17, and I know I'm forgetting one other team.
Portage
is in the Duneland. Lowell, Andrean, Hobart. I forgot Hobart.
Right.
Yeah, but Hobart, obviously Hobart's Hobart. I think anybody in the Midwest probably, knows about Hobart. So, we definitely have a work cut out for us. But that's okay. That's all. I mean, you want to play tough teams, because that lets you know where you're at. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Well, one of the tough teams you play is the very first week. It's the Cracker Barrel game. I'm sure you know about that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And Coach Meeks back there has his team ready. I know you'll have yours ready. And tell us about the opening week here. Well,
playing Rensselaer, they're going to be well coached. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to play hard, and they're going to execute. They're going to be physical. I mean, all those things So you have to match every bit of that and overcome it. Rensselaer's not a team that's going to beat themselves. We have to line up and beat them. And to do that, we're going to have to be consistent quarter one all the way through till the final play of the game.
I think it's a good game to start off for both you guys.
Well, sure it is. I mean, it's going to keep us. It has. It's kept us very grounded. We can't afford to take a day off, a period of practice off, even a rep off, because if we do, then the opponent's not doing that.
Right.
So we just have to, like I said, be the best KV team that we can be, realizing we have a huge challenge week one and be worthy of that.
Well, Kirk, I'm sure glad you made it down here, and hope you can come every week and talk a little KV football with us. And welcome back to the area, and good luck. And we'll talk to you every week. All right.
Well, thank you. It was great being on your show. Appreciate you having us.
All right, Kirk Kennedy from the Kankakee Valley Cougars, back with more of the Coach's Cage program right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Joe Goodman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank and Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering you the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook. Our final coach here tonight on our season premiere of the Coach's Cage, Chris Meeks from the Rensselaer Central Bombers. Chris, good to see you. How you doing?
Good seeing you. Doing well.
All right. Well, refresh our memory on how the Bombers did last year and what you did in the summertime.
Well, before I do that, I need to make an important announcement.
Okay.
It's my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to my wife.
Absolutely.
Haven't really seen her. Been at school all day, practice, and here. So I'll see her here shortly, but very happy birthday to my wife. We won't say how old she is.
No, we don't say the
No.
wife's age, that's
No,
for sure.
But good day for her. We went 6-5 last year. I thought we had a pretty darn good year, to be honest with you. We played a lot of young kids. We had a nice group of seniors, and we lost a very good group of seniors, and they did a great job of pulling our young kids in. But I was head coach. Let's see, I started in 1999, and as I recall back, we've had one kid before last year as a freshman that started throughout the season, and that was Ben Ayler. And I think everybody knows how good of a football player Ben Ayler was. Last year, at times we were starting 4 to 6 freshmen in games, and that's Hoosier Conference football. That's playing the West Lafayette's, the Central Catholics, Andreans, and so on. So to go 6-5 with that many young kids playing,
they held their own, didn't they?
They held their own and grew, and we had an opportunity to see them grow. And even though these are good football players, they still have young bodies. We're talking 14-year-old kids that don't shave and finding their way. So they didn't have the opportunity to play freshman football or JV football and grow. They had to grow on the fly, and they did a great job. So in retrospect, it was a really good year. We lost to Andrean in I think you guys did that game. It was a hard-fought game. It was 7-2 going into the fourth quarter. We ended up losing by 3 scores.
Because it was pouring down rain, wasn't it, all the time?
Yep, and they went on to win state. First drive of the game, we go, 80 yards in 19 plays. And like I said, I thought we played very well last year, and a lot of these kids are back.
What'd you do in the summertime?
A lot of lifting, a lot of running. We went to a team camp at Manchester. We love going there. So we got to play, 4A Power Greenfield Central, which, is going to be a top 10 team this year. Very good. We scrimmaged with them. Mississinawa, who I think won their sectional last year and played for a regional. Northeastern from over by Ohio. They had a nice team. North Central High School, North Miami. So we got to mix it up with them. And
how do you set up who you play? How does that work?
Well, there's usually 8 to 10 teams that show up, and then we sit down in the coach's office and we just kind of map it out, and we are assigned fields. We map out who's playing who, and so we have a say in it, which is nice. But it's a great camp, and we enjoy it. And it's the old camp we used to have out here at St. Joe, which was phenomenal. And we just moved it over to Manchester, and it's well attended. And actually, I think they have 2 or 3 of them now. West Central goes. Then we went to Marion University and had a scrimmage there. That's where all the officials in the state get together, have a clinic, and they have like Big Ten officials, NFL officials come, and they have classes and stuff. And then they come out to our field. So if you watched our scrimmage, it was with Frankfurt and Eastern, you'd see 30 or 40 officials on the field. So that was cool. We hosted our own scrimmage with North Judson, Highland, and Lake Central. And then we did this a few years ago and really enjoyed it. And then with COVID, we weren't able to do it because colleges weren't able to have you come on campus. We went to Northern Illinois University over in DeKalb. Not too far of a trip, but wide variety of teams, and played 7-on-7, and that may shock you, Bob, but we were throwing the football.
No way.
Yeah, all day long. And I feel like this year and last year we just didn't have the opportunity to do the 7-on-7 last couple of years. But
is there value in that, or what value is in 7-on-7?
Well, it gives your receivers an opportunity to catch the ball. It gives your quarterback an opportunity to throw the ball. And I think even above and beyond that, it gives your defensive backs and secondary an opportunity to defend the pass. And, you're looking at kids that are being recruited by Northern Illinois, some big 8A schools from Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin that are there trying to impress those coaches. So we played some great competition. So we went 3-1. That's against Niles North High School out of Chicago, big 8A school, Rockford West High School out of Illinois, Waterloo out of Iowa, and Dubuque Hempstead out of Iowa. Went 3-1 against some great competition. So I thought that was a great event for our kids, and I thought our kids did great.
Scrimmage? What did you do there? What did you accomplish?
We used to scrimmage North White, and then that conference went to a jamboree.
Yeah.
So we looked for a scrimmage for about a month, and it worked out pretty well that North Newton, who went to that jamboree, was losing their scrimmage opponent with Hanover Central. So we picked up Hanover Central. Little did we know we would be in the same sectional with them, but it was all right. We don't see them. It's great competition. They were 11-2 last year, lost in the regional, won their sectional. They have a vast majority of kids back, 2 kids in the top 25 in the state, and I thought we played very, very well against them.
All right. How many kids do you have out this year? And tell us how the preseason. The summertime, you get a lot of your stuff in. This doesn't focus on the 2 weeks of preseason practice, does it?
Well, we have 36 kids out, which is a little less than what we normally have. We normally are in the mid-40s, so probably 10 less than we normally have. But the positive is these are 36 football players, and I was talking to Coach Kennedy about it, and he reaffirmed exactly what I was thinking. If you've got 36 guys that love football and can play the game, then you're doing all right. And that's what we have. We have 36 guys that love the game, that practice hard, and they're ballers. What was the other question you asked?
The preseason, the 2 weeks that
normally
used to be 2-a-days that aren't anymore, right?
Yeah. So what we do, it used to be 2-a-day, 3-a-day practices, and you crammed everything in all through August, and it's not like that anymore at all. So, we start June 1st as soon as school gets out, and we gradually put stuff in. So we call it install. So we install our offense. We install our defense. So we gradually build on that throughout the summer through June and July. We'll mix some scrimmages in, like the ones I talked about. And then, then we'll start showing some different defenses we might see. So, having played Coach Stewart when he was at Kage before and seeing his little teams and stuff when he was defense coordinator, I feel like we have a pretty good grasp what they're going to do. They'll make sure they have 2 very quick defensive tackles. They're going to try to follow our pulling guard, so we got to make sure our guards decoy and all these things. And sometimes teams will key on our fullback, so we have decoys for that and calls. So those are the things that we work on in June and July. Then when we come back in August, it's just timing things up, working on our special teams. And to be honest with you, I think most coaches will tell you we probably could have played a game a week ago. I mean, I'm just serious.
Right. Let's talk about some of your key players who you think are going to contribute offensively and defensively.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm interviewed in the media about our team, and I never recall ever saying it, but it's the truth. We're young and experienced. Okay,
that's a good thing.
It is. You look at our team, we have 15 returning starting positions. So I think when you look at our team, it starts with Jordan Cree. Jordan's a senior. He's an all-state football player. He was Lafayette Journal-Carrier Defensive Player of the Year. He's a kid that we're going to move around, and he'll play defensive end. He'll play a defensive tackle. He'll play nose, but we're definitely going to move him around, make teams plan for him, and he is a very good football player. Offensively, he's a great lineman. So, he is very instrumental in our plans for this year and hopefully the successes we have. Trent Simmons is another senior. He's a two-way starter. He started for us last year and really came into his own as the season went on. And, he'll be playing both ways for us, and he'll be playing some linebacker for us this year, which is nice to see because he's an athletic kid. Logan Kuiper, again, another two-way starter. He's a senior, and last year he played defensive back and tight end, and he'll be expected to do the same thing this year. Adam Ayler, long line of Aylers. So he's back. He's only a junior, two-way starter. Last year, he'll be a two-way starter again this year, and, we have very high expectations. He played well last year, but, one of the things we've told him is there's another level, buddy, and you need to get there. And he has shown that he's taken that step this year and has played very well in our scrimmages. Aaron Barco, also a junior. He third year starting. As a freshman against Andoran, we started him in the sectional championship game, played very well. And then all last year he started in our secondary, also runs the ball some. But, as a 3-year starter, we got to have him do some special things in our secondary. A new kid that came our way this year, and we gladly accepted, was Caden Rowland. He will play running back for us. He will play some defensive line for us. He was a two-way starter, a very good football player for North Newton, and he will play both ways for us and has done some very good things since he's been here. And again, he's a kid that we've taken aside and explained to him that you did good last year and you've done good in the summer, but there's a whole another level. And I felt like against Hanover Central, we started to see that. So we expect big things from him. Diego Hernandez-Reyes. He's a sophomore. He started defensive linebacker for us last year, spotted in at running back, actually got some starts at running back last year, a few starts. So he'll also, too, be playing both ways. So it's a common theme. I was listening to Coach Kennedy talk a little bit. It doesn't matter if you're 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. If you're a very good football player and you're the best kid as far as offensively and defensively, I know they've got several kids going both ways. We will, too. So that'll be interesting in a storyline in itself. All the two-way players come Friday night. This kid here, Brian Camarina, earned a starting spot towards the end of the year. He's a sophomore, 6'5", 265 pounds. He's probably pushing 280 now. Very, very good athlete. So when you see a kid like that, a lot of times, 6'5", they could be tall and skinny. He's a thick kid. He's a very good track thrower, shot and discus. Very good basketball player, and he's an outstanding football player. So he, too, will be playing both ways. Brock Robinson, a kid I'm sure you mentioned several times last year, sophomore, started as a freshman. He's our fullback again. He's a guard. That's what he is. In our offense, you play a guard at fullback, and he's got to pull and play like a guard, and he does. So he'll also play some defense as well at times. And then our quarterback, Corbin Matthew, is a sophomore. Started on defense last year at safety, and he too will be playing both ways. But, to complement those guys, we've got some other kids that have emerged. Graham Jerome, a junior, will be playing tight end. Ryan Kellner, sophomore, will be playing center. Caden Doyle, sophomore, will be playing linebacker. Carter Drone will handle the kicking duties. He's a senior. And then Chaz Mullins and Azariah Warren, they'll be getting significant playing time once they're back, in the swing of things. So got a lot of guys that'll be playing football. You got a lot of guys that will be playing a high level, have worked hard, and they're looking forward to the opportunity to showcase their talents come Friday.
What are your goals or expectations this year?
We're not going to put pressure on these guys. I mean, obviously we want to win, anything that we play in. So obviously we want to win every game Friday night, put ourselves in position to win a sectional or put ourselves in position to win a conference championship. But we're going to take it one step at a time, keep improving. You hear the cliche, you want to win the day or 1%. That's true. We want to keep getting better. We want to stay healthy, keep the positive chemistry, keep the positive vibe. It starts with the seniors. And Coach Joe Bervin used to say, you're only as good as your seniors. And when he says that, he's not necessarily talking about talent, but he's talking about, being the glue of the team and making sure everybody stays together and the leadership. And we've had that from our seniors. And because of that, I think we're practicing, we're working hard, and doing the things that we need to do to be successful. And if we continue to do that, I think good things are ahead.
Stepped up to 3A now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, when you look at us, I don't think we're a 3A program.
You're right in the middle, though, aren't you now?
No.
No?
No, not in football we're not.
No. Okay.
No. And to be honest with you, our school really hadn't gotten bigger, but the line went down.
I see.
Yeah. So we're still kind of consistent where we'd been, but the break-off point's just a little bit lower. But, we relish the opportunity to play some different teams. The bottom line is we always played Andrew tough. A couple of years ago we lost by 10 points and spotted them 14 in the first 2 minutes and lost by 10, like 49-39. We've played them tough, but we haven't beat them. So it'll be nice to see somebody different. So you look at our 3A sectional, some different teams that we don't normally see. We've got Griffith, Boone Grove, Calumet, Twin Lakes, which we do see, River Forest, Hanover Central we had an opportunity to see in our scrimmage, West Lafayette, got beat badly by them last year with several kids out with COVID. Year before that, lost in double overtime, and then us. So we like the sectional. We like the opportunity to play in some different teams, and we relish the opportunity. And again, we're just going to take it game to game, day to day, and keep improving and hopefully put ourselves in position to win that.
Last thing, coaching staff?
Yeah. Few changes.
I know.
Yeah.
I have one call me regularly, so you know who that is, don't you?
Yeah. Let's start off with our coaches. Brian Zacher, defensive coordinator, been with me forever, played, Bomber football, and just an outstanding defensive coordinator and really takes pride in the program, as all these guys do, and it's great to have him back as defensive coordinator. The man I think you may be alluding to is Coach Eric Nallen.
Well, I talked to him too, but
yeah.
I think his name starts with a W. So
okay,
yeah.
Coach Nallen, he's back.
He's been around too for many
He's
many
been
years,
around.
Right?
Yep. So he does a lot of things for us, and coaches special teams. Him and I work together on offense, and does a lot of things behind the scenes. So it's great to have him back. Coach Stevens, again, started when I started back in 1999, and, we were assistants before that. But, again, does a little bit of everything. Coaches our linebackers, coaches JV, coaches offense. One of our new faces, Doug Hannon. Coach Hannon played linebacker for the Bombers several years ago and coached our offensive line for a few years, and was actually the head offensive line coach when we won state in 2014. His job dictated that he couldn't do that on a regular basis. Still was part of our program, but now he's worked it out to where he can be with us every day and works with our line and does a tremendous job. He took the place of Adam Lyons, who Adam did a tremendous job with the offensive line too. But Adam, unfortunately, lived in Kokomo and couldn't do it any longer and took a job down there. So Doug stepped up, and those two are good friends. They worked together, figured things out, and Doug just took it and went running. All right. Austin Metzger. Austin's a West Central product. He's been one of our middle school coaches. His kids play for us, and he was an outstanding football player for West Central and all-state player, defensive back, and he coaches our defensive backs. And he'll also coach JV as well. And then W, would that be Wes Radke?
That's him, yeah.
Yeah. You know, let me tell you something about Wes. So, girls basketball coach, and when word started circulating that Coach Radke would be doing football, there was a few people that came up. Are you serious, Wes Radke? And I said, let me point out a couple things to you. Number one, the name Radke in football is synonymous in Indiana.
Right.
Okay. Number two, this man was a phenomenal, which I knew he was a good football player, but you go back and look, he was a phenomenal player at North Judson. Actually played in the North-South All-Star game. All right. And number three, all right, this guy has been chomping at the bit to get on the staff. We hadn't had any openings. And he's come out, and he is phenomenal. I mean, he is great.
He's got the voice to be a football coach.
He's got the voice. He's got the passion. He's intense. So the intensity you see in girls basketball, amp that up by about 10 in football. And he's doing a tremendous job for us. So we love the staff that we have. They're doing a tremendous job. And then, we got to throw out the middle school coaches. Steve Phillips has been there 35 years. Jack Zisi, former player for us. Vince Urbano. Vince Burpo. Former player, does a tremendous job. Sean Carter, Luke Branson, Dylan Wright, all former players, and do a great job coaching that middle school, and very proud of their efforts down there.
Forgot to ask you about the opening game this week. Tell us about the Cracker Barrel game.
Yeah, it's always an exciting game from the standpoint, number one, we jump right into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these games are exciting and intense and all that, but the KV community, the Rensselaer community, they come out en masse. So it doesn't matter if it's at Rensselaer, it doesn't matter if it's at KV, the place will be packed. It's an electric atmosphere. It's awesome. Nowadays, student bodies don't come out like they used to. They do for this game. Mm-hmm. So both student bodies will be there. We're playing for an actual trophy, a Cracker Barrel. I think one of the coolest things about the game is it's intense. It's a rivalry. I can't remember ever there being trash talking or cheap talk or anything like that. Both teams will lock horns for 48 minutes, but when it's all over, we've always gotten along with their coaching staff, and we have nothing but respect for their coaches, Coach Kennedy and Coach Stewart and all those KV coaches, and even before, Coach Broyles and his staff. I mean, they all did a great job, and we have a great relationship with them, and it's just a great game to start the season with. The way we look at it, they're a 4A school. They're double our size. They have great athletes, great speed, great size. It's a great way for us to start the season before we get into that Hoosier Conference grind.
Hoosier Conference, real quick. What are your thoughts on that?
It's tough every year. I mean, West Lafayette, preseason number 2 behind Bishop Chatard out of Indianapolis. All right, West Lafayette's loaded. Central Catholic, all right, they scrimmaged Harrison. Everything I see on them, they're loaded. And a lot of the same family names that you see, out of Central Catholic. They just keep having babies down there that hold footballs.
Yeah.
And then, Twin Lakes, they're traditionally a very good football team. Tipton, I mean, you can keep going down. It's Hamilton Heights. It's a tremendous football conference, one that I'm glad we're in week out. It's always a tough game. Always great fans and great, student participation. But I'd like to think we're going to be in the thick of things. We're young, but we're experienced, and our kids are competitive, and we're looking forward to the challenges of the Hoosier Conference.
Chris, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later on, okay?
All right, hey, thanks a lot.
Chris Meeks from Rensselaer Central Bombers has been our guest. Scotty, are we done here, or do we have any